What if the universe isn't a place where things just happen? What if the universe is the happening itself? Today, we are diving into a really radical new theory that completely reframes our understanding of reality, suggesting that time, space, and change aren't separate things at all, but are all tangled up in one single living process. So, the theory we're digging into today really kicks off with this massive question. Are we living inside a static box where events unfold, or is the universe itself one giant, continuous, dynamic process? This single question is the key to unlocking this whole idea. Now, to really get our heads around this new theory, we first have to talk about the old one it's trying to replace, this idea of a static stage for reality. We're about to make a huge shift in perspective, from a dead stage to a living, breathing system.
For hundreds of years, from Newton all the way up to Einstein, the standard view was pretty straightforward. Space was the container, time was the universal clock, and stuff just moved around inside it. Space and time were just the passive background, the stage for the big cosmic drama.
But this new way of thinking starts with something called the omnia mobilis assumption. And what that means in plain English is that nothing is truly static. Instead, everything, and I mean everything from a tiny particle to an entire galaxy, is constantly remaking itself. It's in a state of perpetual reconfiguration.
Okay, so if everything isn't just changing its location, but is constantly changing its form, then our old word motion just doesn't cut it anymore, right? So this theory introduces a new, way more powerful term for this fundamental process: transfiguration.
Let's really hammer down the difference here. Motion, that's just mechanical change, a planet orbiting a star, a ball rolling down a hill. But transfiguration, that's a deep, qualitative transformation. It's not about an object moving through space. It's about the very fabric of space itself, evolving, changing its energy, its form, and its function, all at once.
So, what is transfiguration exactly? Think of it as the built-in ability of any system to completely reorganize its own structure. This isn't just some random effect. It's the fundamental engine that actually links time and space together, showing us that they were never separate to begin with. And this right here, this is the heart of the whole time transfiguration space continuum. It argues that these aren't three separate pillars holding up reality, no. They are just different faces, different expressions of a single underlying process. Time, change, and space, they're all one and the same thing.
Okay, but how do these three things actually work together? Well, the theory proposes they're locked in this incredible perpetual cycle that literally drives reality itself. It's this beautiful, elegant feedback loop. Think about it. The flow of time is what allows for change, for transfiguration to happen. Then, that active changing actually reshapes the structure of space. And finally, that new shape of space feeds back and regenerates the flow of time. Each step creates the next, over and over, forever.
And because of this perpetual loop, the universe is never in a state of perfect, boring balance. Instead, it exists in what the theory calls a dynamic imbalance, constantly kept alive by this cycle of transformation and renewal, is what makes it a truly living system.
All right, so you might be thinking, this is a cool idea, but how on earth do you model something that big? Well, let's take a quick peek at the math behind it. Don't worry, we're focusing on the core concept, not the crazy equations. Amazingly, the model can be boiled down to a single, really powerful number. It's called lambda, the transfiguration number. And it's just a simple ratio. You take a system's generative power, its ability to create, and you divide it by its losses, its natural decay. That one number tells you everything. And the value of lambda is literally a matter of life and death for a system. If it's greater than 1, that means the system creates more than it loses. It survives, it thrives, it evolves. But if lambda is 1 or less, the system decays, it collapses. It's basically a cosmic on-off switch for existence. Visually, this theory doesn't see reality as some flat, boring grid. Oh no. It's described as a dynamic surface that pulsates, folds, and expands. I mean, what a cool way to imagine the universe as this fluid, active thing that's constantly remaking its own shape. And on this pulsating surface, you find what the theory calls T-nodes. These are the points where different systems interact. And what's so powerful here is that a system can be anything: a subatomic particle, a coral reef, even a global economy. This theory suggests they all play by the same fundamental rules.
So we've got this powerful, abstract framework. But what does it all mean in the real world? What are the implications? Let's zoom back out for a second and see what this new perspective really unlocks for us.
I mean, the implications are just huge. This redefines reality as a living, self-sustaining system. It doesn't just unite time, space, and change. It gives us a new foundational language that could connect totally different fields, from cosmology all the way down to nanotechnology. It suggests everything might operate on the same basic principle.
If you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. We might have been looking at reality completely backwards. The universe isn't a static box that contains events. The universe is the event. It is the happening.
And that, of course, leaves us with one final, pretty mind-bending question to think about. If the universe, and everything in it, including us, is part of this constant, unending process of transformation, then what are we all becoming?